A real estate professional helps you separate fact from fiction. If you're following the news, chances are you've seen or heard some headlines about the housing market that don't give the full picture. The real estate market is shifting, and when that happens, it can be hard to separate fact from fiction. That's when a trusted real estate professional comes in. They can help you debunk the headlines so you can really understand today's market and what it means for you. Here are 3 common housing market myths that you might be hearing, along with the expert analysis that provide better context. Myth 1, home prices are going to fall. One piece of fiction many buyers have seen or heard is that home prices are going to crash. That's because headlines often use similar but different terms to describe what's happening with prices. A few you might be seeing right now include appreciation, or even an increase in home prices, depreciation, or a decrease in home prices, or deceleration, which is an increase in home prices but at a slower pace. The fact is, experts aren't calling for a decrease in prices. Instead, the forecast appreciation will continue just at a decelerated pace. That means home prices will continue rising and won't fall. Salima Help, Deputy Chief Economist at CoreLogic, explains higher mortgage rates occupied with more inventory will lead to slower home price growth but unlikely declines in home prices. Myth 2, the housing market is in correction. Another common myth is that the housing market is in a correction. Again, that's not the case. Here's why. According to Forbes, a correction is a sustained decline in the value of a market index or the price of an individual asset. A correction is generally agreed to be 10 to 20% drop in value from a recent peak. As mentioned above, home prices are still appreciating, and experts project that this will continue, just at a slower pace. That means the housing market isn't in a correction because prices aren't falling. It's just moderating compared to the last 2 years, which were record-breaking nearly every way. Myth 3, the housing market is going to crash. Some headlines are generating worry about the housing market is a bubble ready to burst, but experts say today is nothing like 2008. One of the reasons why is because lending standards are very different today. Logan Mohimi, lead analyst for Housing Wire, explains, as recession talk becomes more prevalent, some people are concerned that mortgage credit lending will get much tighter. This typically happens in a recession. However, the notion that credit lending in America will collapse as it did from 2005 to 2008 couldn't be more incorrect, as we haven't had a credit boom in the period between 2008 to 2022. During the last housing bubble, it was much easier to get a mortgage than it is today. Since then, lending standards have tightened significantly, and purchasers who acquire a mortgage over the last decade are much more qualified than they were in the years leading up to the crash. Bottom line, no matter what you're hearing about the housing market, trust the experts and partner with a local real estate professional. When you do, you'll have the knowledge, authority on your side that knows the ins and outs of the market, including the current trends, historical context, and so much more. Contact me and I'll help you, Denise Kubler, Signature Real Estate Group, 702-496-2830.